Paramount has agreed to pay Donald Trump $16 million to settle a lawsuit over a 60 Minutes interview with his former presidential opponent, Kamala Harris. 60 Minutes airs on CBS, which Paramount owns. Mr. Trump alleged that the interview, which aired 1 month before the 2024 election, was selectively edited to improve how then Vice President Harris sounded. CBS denied that. Today, the head of CBS, George Cheeks, defended the settlement at Paramount's annual shareholder meeting, saying, quote, "The settlement offers a negotiated resolution to allow companies to focus on their core objectives rather than being mired in uncertainty and distraction." Paramount said the funds will go to President Trump's library, not to him personally. CBS did not have to issue an apology as part of the deal. For more on this, I'm joined by Brian Stelter. He's the chief media analyst for CNN, and he writes the Reliable Sources newsletter. Brian, welcome back to the NewsHour.
Thanks so much.
So, Brian, this is not the first major media company to settle with President Trump. You've been following this, though. Did anything in this settlement or its terms surprise you?
Well, CBS did not actually do anything wrong here. CBS engaged in standard television news editing practices, but its parent company paid the price anyway, with some people likening this to a ransom or even a bribe. The terms are not surprising because, as you said, Paramount's not the first company to do this. Disney's ABC, in some ways, wrote the playbook that Paramount is now relying on because last December, when Trump was still president elect, ABC settled with Trump out of court to the tune of $16 million. So here we are again with $16 million heading toward Trump's presidential library. The big difference in this case is that Paramount is trying to get a merger approved by the Trump administration. And that is why the word bribe has come up, with Democratic senators wondering if this was a bribe to try to get the Trump administration to approve the deal. Paramount says no, Trump's FCC says no, but a lot of outside analysts believe that is the case.
Brian, I want to underscore this point you're making, that it is standard journalistic practice to edit interviews for length, for clarity, for a number of editorial reasons. Is it clear that Paramount would have lost this suit if they'd continued to fight?
To the contrary, Paramount likely would have prevailed. But Trump filed this lawsuit before winning re-election in a court in Texas that in some ways was very favorable to him. I've spoken with numerous legal experts who said that CBS had a very strong First Amendment case, but there were ways this could have gone sideways for CBS given the jurisdiction of the case and given the uncertainty of going up against a presidential litigant. I mean, this is a very unusual situation. I know in 2025, this seems normal now, but up until this year, this is incredibly abnormal to have a sitting president suing a television network, trying to strike a settlement deal, maybe asking for an apology, which CBS refused to provide. This is a situation where I think we're all getting accustomed to how transactional this president can be. And now we will see what happens. Will the Trump administration approve Paramount's deal with Skydance? Will there be other terms or conditions attached to that merger approval? That's the great unknown.
Well, as the lawsuit was unfolding and there were reports about mediation between Paramount head Sherry Redstone and Trump's team, there were also accusations from CBS journalists that Paramount leadership was meddling in their coverage of President Trump. We saw longtime 60 Minutes producer Bill Owens leave under pressure in April. We saw the head of CBS News, Wendy McMahon, leave in May. What are you hearing from inside CBS News, from inside 60 Minutes about the settlement?
A mixture of outrage and anger about the settlement, but also a sense of resignation because this was in the works for months. Some people thought the dollar amount would actually be higher than it ultimately was. And also among some staffers today, a sense of relief that this chapter is over. Yes, corporate priorities trumped journalistic principles in this case. But for all the criticism of Paramount and boss Sherry Redstone, 60 Minutes did broadcast all the stories it wanted to broadcast last spring. You know, the stories were not cut. So what we are seeing is this tug of war that's taking place. The journalists at CBS wanted their company to fight, to defend them, to go to court if they had to, in order to defend the reputation of CBS. The parent company decided to fold by settling.
So, Brian, what's the bigger impact here? I mean, I'm going to put to you part of a statement from Jody Ginsburg, who's the head of the Committee to Protect Journalists. She said CBS caved to groundless threats here. She also said that this signals that the current administration, as well as any future administrations, can interfere with or influence editorial decisions. You had ABC News settle. You've now had CBS settle. Is there a larger concern about press freedom here?
There is, because the public needs and wants independent, impartial journalism. And for the most part, that's what Americans are getting. Despite all of Trump's threats, despite his lawsuits, and despite his other attempts to crack down on a free press, the news is getting out. And Americans, by and large, are still well informed about what's going on with this administration. But the reason why legal experts I spoke with today and press freedom advocates today have been using words like authoritarianism is because they're worried about the Democratic backsliding that this might represent. If a president can sue a media outlet and tie it up in knots legally in court, if a president can convince a media outlet to pay tens of millions of dollars in settlements in order to avoid a protracted dispute, that is a unsettling path forward for the American news media.
Brian Stelter, chief media analyst for CNN and the man behind the Reliable Sources newsletter. Great to speak with you. Thank you.
Thanks.